Hello?
Look under the directories. You'll find what you want.
Alright, so we just put the fabrication on there. This is this new stuff. This ain't like a regular wrap. This is like a clay embedded wrap. It's a heat wrap pro is what it says. But it's 4 headers. It's supposed to handle up to 1600 degrees. And that catalytic converter in the pipe, front pipe, gets pretty hot. So then they give you extra clay and some tape. So basically what you do is you wrap your tape first around like the hole or crack or whatever you got going on. I had both. So, but you wrap your tape around that, the metal tape, and then you put your clay tape over that. And then they give you extra clay that you slather over the wrap that's already embedded with clay. And I use the whole pack of clay. I just put it on there heavy as hell, because I figure why not. And just smeared it all over there. And they give you gloves, so you'll be wearing gloves. So this stuff's pretty sticky and pretty thick, and it's almost like a almost dried mud kind of consistency. So, but I spread it all over there, and you're supposed to spread it on the ends. Make sure you get clay up there in the ends. And then they have a tape, a metal tape that you put on after all this to hold the tape until it cures from heat. But I got so much clay on there, I don't think I need the metal tape. But I don't know, maybe I'll put it on, but yeah, maybe I'll put it on. Anyway, now I'm thinking about it. But we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, there's my new muffler and tailpipe I put on. But I don't know, if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to replace that catalytic converter, I guess. I don't have much of a choice. You know, things never go as planned when you're working with a car that's well, it's a 99, so it's what, almost 22, 23 years old. So I'm going to put the last bit of tape on, wrap it with a metal tape, and fire it up and let the heat from the catalytic converter cure it, and we'll go from there. So we're inside my car, and yeah, it's nice and quiet, as you can tell. Jeeps were never really quiet, but yeah, this was, even sitting inside my car beforehand, it was so loud that turning the radio up didn't work. It's been running now for about a half hour. I'm gonna let it idle for another, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. I was thinking 45 minutes. That catalytic converter should be pretty super hot, so it should harden that clay up. I might be set to check engine light and then see how it, see if it stays off. It might stay off. It could have been just the hole in the exhaust causing the issue. So I reset it to check engine light, do it around for a bit, and it came back on. So it's like, terrific. So I put the scanner back on it and to check to see. I knew it would be an O2 sensor. I just didn't know which one, and I was hoping it'd be the downstream, because that's the easiest one to change. My Jeep only has 2, an upstream and a downstream. But of course, you know, it's can't be the downstream because that would be too easy. It's the upstream, and that's the one that's by the oil pan, I believe. And that one's going to be a pain in the ass to try to get to. But I got one coming. I ordered it from Rock Auto. I think it was like $23 and some change. Because around here locally they're like 50, 60 bucks. It's like, no, I don't think so. Not when I can get it for 23, and it's an NHK, which I believe
Jeep used from the factory. So I got that coming, and I was going to go out there today and hit it with some Ep2, and I was going to hit this body with some red oxide. I mean, the weather, it just went to crap. It went from 60, 70 degree weather to 30 and snowstorm. So anyway, we won't be working on the Jeep today, nor will I be hitting the body with some red oxide. But as you can see here, we've got all the body work done. We've got both sides of the quarter panel done. Got a filler panel in there now looks more like a 68. So I think it's ready for some red oxide. We got the front fascia on. We got the rockers on. I put all these on because the instructions show that all these get put on before the chassis is installed. So apparently you can put the chassis in there after these are put on. It's going to be hard putting the photo wedge grill in there though, but well, I'll figure it out. I think this is ready for some primer now, and then we can see where we're at as far as the body work, whether I need to do any any touching up of the body work. And I have a feeling I'll be touching up right here, because now that this body is completely dry, my hands are kind of dry, I kind of feel a little bit of a raised area here, so we'll be probably touching that up. But that's the body. We got the 4-cylinder put together using mainly Vallejo paints. We did use the black on it is craft acrylics. Everything else, oh sorry, the block is Tamiya. I used called for a dark sea gray. I just went with the dark gray. It's all I had. This is XF24, so I just went with the dark gray on the block, and everything else is the Vallejo. All the aluminum and steel and metal, and that's all Vallejo. So we got that 4-cylinder painted up. We got the valve covers detailed out with the cooling fins, and then we got the emblem name that says Lotus across the top here. And then we got the gearbox all painted up and done. And I don't know what this great big really long rod is. I think it's the linkage for the gear box, I'm going to assume, because it goes back here to the tail, so I'm going to assume that's what that linkage is. And I have to touch it up because I got some paint on it, but we got that done up, and then we got a little bit of discoloration going on the header, well, the exhaust, that header-like exhaust. So we got that done. Hope I'm not blurring and I can't tell. So anyway, that is the 4-cylinder. It's a good looking little engine there. Pretty cool. It's not done yet though. I think we still got the carbs and stuff to put on the other side, but I'm just going by the instructions. So that's actually step number 1 and 2. Step 3, we got the front suspension on it, the rotors on it. I didn't use a photo etch on the rotors. It's got a photo etch for the rotors, so they look more realistic. I didn't use it because I'm not using the kit supplied wheels, and these wheels are going to pretty much cover up the caliper. You're really not going to see it, very little of it. Even on the backside, you're going to not see it all that well. So I did paint the backside of the rotors. I just painted it Vallejo steel. But you know, once these tires are on there, you're not going to be seeing crap anyway. So I didn't bother using the photo etch. I mean. But anyway, we got that done. The calipers, it said to paint gold, so we got that Vallejo gold. And then we detailed out the coil springs in the front there, you can see. And then this piece, this Y frame, gets put into the floor pan here like that, so it'll go like that. I believe all this gets painted black, but for now I'm on step number, what step is this? Step number 4. So still got to put the steering rack on in step 4. So I still got to do that. But that's the body. That's the engine. That's the frame. The wheels. The wheels in this kit, they have a pin on the back, and they're designed to slide into the hole here in the rotor. So we have to come up with the same kind of setup. So I looked through my junk box and I found these. I don't know what they are, but they're like a shoulder, a tube with a shoulder. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and glue them to the back of the wheel. And hopefully I get it centered well. And it'll look like that. And then that'll give us a way to attach the wheels to the rotor. I'll have to cut these because these are too long. These will throw the wheel past the body. So I have to cut these and cut them way down to get the tire to slide over and in to where, the wheel is under the car, not sticking out like this. So we have to bring it way in there. So I'll measure that and I'll cut these and then I will glue them on. And then for the axle pins, I'm using these little rockets here that I think are out of a 1/72nd, kit. I don't know if it's a helicopter or an airplane, but these rockets make great axle pins. So I'm going to cut it off, the front part of the missile off, and just use the thicker side of the body, and we'll cut the fins off, and then we'll have basically what we'll have is this, and then this diameter is perfect to fit inside the rotor. So we'll use those rockets as axle pins. We'll cut them to length. We'll cut these tubes to length and then glue them all onto the backs of the wheel, and then we'll start painting the wheels. As you can see, we got the wheel backs. I found some wheel backs for these, so now it'll look right. So we got our wheel backs, our wheel pins, our wheel attachment thingy doos. I got the engine almost finished. We got the frame started, and we got the body work pretty much done. Now we just, as I said, have to go back and once we prime it, go back and fine tune where we need to fine tune. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Haven't done a whole lot. My wife's been sick, so I've been taking care of her. So I haven't done a lot of modeling lately, but we'll eventually get back to it. So, alright guys, that's it. Take care. We'll see you in our next update on the Lotus.